Actually, let me take that back. I'm literally not fishing, but I'm on the Winter Haven chain of lakes for the very first time. And my approach, it's summer, it's hot, the water is 88 degrees, and I'm going to, basically I got 2 days. I'm going to scan all day today. I may throw in a line if I really start losing my mind, but I'm really going to scan. But one of the tricks that I found with Structure Scan on these Florida lakes is we complain about it sometimes, but it's a benefit in the context when you're looking for brush piles, shell bars, and things along those lines, is these lakes are really flat. And one trick I found with the Structure Scan is a settings thing. And basically, I'm scanning a pretty broad, it's like 15 to maybe 19 foot, so it's a pretty flat area. But there are some curves in the contours, very subtle, but you don't know where they're going to be. So I'm trying to get a feel of where things are set up, just trying to get a feel for how things are laid out up here. But as you can see, I'm scanning out to 120 feet. Now, when you're scanning that broadly, and you're going that wide across a pretty flat area, you want to be at 455. Now, a lot of guys say you want to scan at 855 when you're scanning shallower water. Here's the deal. Let me show you 855, or yeah, 800 versus 455, and you're going to see a huge difference. You can see I get a lot of white. I get a pretty good return. It starts kind of dropping out a little around like 100, around like 90, 120, but I still get some contact. But let's take a look at what 800 is going to look like. So I just switched to 800 kilohertz, and you can see I'm getting a very clear picture, but I'm getting a lot less return further out. So what I've found is when you're doing a broad scan, when you're trying to cover water and you're on a pretty flat area, you're going to want your structure scan set at 455, because that 800 is just a little too specific. Now, if you're trying to pick fish off a brush pile and really separate, maybe with a shell bar, brush pile, whatever, or even like fish chasing a school of bait, you're going to want to be at 855. But let's turn this thing back to 455 and take a look. So we're back on 455 now, and you can see I'm getting a broader, however less detailed return. But in the end, I've done a few experiments with it, and I can still see shadows of brush piles, shadows of bait, way out to like 100 and some feet. So I'm not going to miss as much, and I don't have to idle as tight a line. So I can be a little more loose with my lines and cover a lot more water. So if you're on some Florida flatter lakes and you're scanning for piles, or you're scanning for even offshore grass, anything like that, as long as you don't have that much of a depth change, be shooting at 455 with your side scan, and then when you want to get specific, bump up to 800.